What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome back to the Dapper Snapper Gaming channel. Now, today we are going to be talking about how to take down Terrakion. Now, if you haven't seen one of these videos before, this is our Taking Him Down series, and welcome, first of all, to the Dapper Snapper Gaming channel. And basically what this is a help for team building. If you are struggling against Terrakion in OU on the ladder or in Wi-Fi or anything like that, this is basically to give you some suggestions in order to help you out against that. So before we get into it though, I want to say a couple of things. First of all, we're going to do a question of the day today, and that is going to be, what are you doing during this time of social distancing? So yeah, a lot of us are stuck at home. I'm personally not. I'm personally working actually longer hours than I normally would. But what are you doing? If you're at home from school or from work or whatever, what are you doing? And I hope to see some watching Dapper Snapper videos. That'd be great. But if you're not, just let me know what you're doing. It'd be great. So then I also want to tell you about our sponsor for today. That is going to be our playthrough of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Yeah, that's going on right now. We have 2 episodes up already, and 1 more will be going up tomorrow. I don't normally upload on Sundays, but you know what? I thought I would go ahead and give you an extra video for the week just to make sure that you have something to do, just so that you have new content every day while you're sitting at home. Maybe bored out of your mind, maybe not, maybe just going nuts, I don't know. This just helps to alleviate some of that cabin fever maybe, and just give you some time to relax. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. Now, Terrakion is absolutely insane, and we talked about how strong he is in his competitive Dex episode, which if you missed that, that will be up in the iCard above. But basically, this thing can break through almost any wall in the game, and 2-hit KOs the vast majority of Pokemon just in existence. It's actually crazy how much power this thing has, and with its 108 base speed being really fast in this generation, it does work. It does a lot of work, especially with a choice band, which we featured in a recent Wi-Fi battle, also going to be up in the iCard above. So how do we counter something that hits this hard? Well, we're going to start by taking a defensive approach here, and that is going to be with Hippowdon. Now, even with Hippowdon being as bulky as it is, it still is not something I would consider a true counter to Terrakion. I would consider it a check, a decent check maybe, but not a counter. Because even if this thing is choice banded, if Terrakion is choice banded, you have a chance of getting 2-hit KO'd. It is a guaranteed 3-hit KO, obviously, but there is a chance of getting 2-hit KO'd, which is absolutely ridiculously broken on the part of Terrakion. Now, if it is Life Orbed, such as the Life Orb with Swords Dance set, as long as it hasn't set up a Swords Dance, Hippowdon is a hard wall to this. And you can hit it for Earthquake for 79 to 94%, which has a chance to OHKO after rocks of 6.3%, which I don't like those odds either. So yeah, that's why I'm saying this thing would be considered a check and definitely not a counter. Scarf does even less, which is really good. So this thing really helps against Scarf and against Life Orb, as long as it's not setting up in your face. But against Banded, yeah, Hippowdon really can't do a whole lot. So we're going to jump over to Galarian Weezing. Galarian Weezing is a slightly different story. This thing does a lot of work. And if the Terrakion is choice scarfed, 31 to 37%. That's really nice, and that's why we have this specific EV spread here. There are a lot of Scarf Terrakions here, and that basically just takes you out of range of it being a 3-hit KO ever. It is impossible for them to 3-hit KO you if you are 228 defense and bold nature. That is on a Scarf variant. If they are banded or they are Life Orb, they're going to be doing slightly more. Let's jump to the worst case scenario of choice banded. It is a 19% chance to 2-hit KO, which does put the odds in your favor, seeing how you have a guaranteed 2-hit KO with Strange Steam. Is that a chance you want to take? That's up to you. We do have Levitate on this set just to make sure that Earthquake doesn't just kill us, because otherwise Stone Edge then becomes the strongest option. So yeah, this thing is okay. It's not the best. It's not the best, and there is no like best really, because Terrakion's just so strong. But now we have an unconventional pick in Necrozma. So Necrozma is very much slower than this. And you'll see that we have an interesting set here. We have Calm Mind Autotomize, so basically Double Dance with Weakness Policy. And so basically, if you don't get a chance to set this thing up, you can trade it for Terrakion. You take 60 to 71 from Stone Edge, which is the max hit. Every other move does not 2-hit KO you. Even just max HP, you don't need any defense investment. If you get hit with anything besides Stone Edge, it is not a guaranteed 2-hit KO. It is not a 2-hit KO at all. And yeah, it's nice. So that is one thing that is really nice. Again, watch out for Swords Dance. Swords Dance changes the game a little bit, but then you can OHKO back with Photon Geyser just from stock. You don't need any boosts or anything. Photon Geyser is a guaranteed OHKO. So yeah, definitely an unconventional pick, but he has the bulk in base 97 HP and base 101 defense. If you also would like to know some other things about Necrozma, check out his competitive decks episode up in the iCard above right now. Now, another unconventional pick, very unconventional, is going to be Mudsdale. Now, Mudsdale is not something that you really see in OU at all because it's just usually not all that great. However, in this case, honestly, it could do a little bit of work. So there is a chance that this thing can get 2-hit KO'd. It's a very small chance, but there is a chance. But as long as you have stamina, you should be able to, most of the time, take 2 hits from this and you can hit it back with an Earthquake. Earthquake has a 31% chance to OHKO coming off of a Mudsdale, which is pretty great, while Close Combat has a 97% chance to 2-hit KO, but that is not considering the +1 that you get from stamina, which is going to dramatically decrease those odds. So yeah, you've got to consider that, and if Mudsdale has taken any hits before that have boosted its defense, then you're going to be doing even more. And after a +1, your body press is going to be doing 80%. If you get +2, body press OHKOs guaranteed. So that is one other thing, is that if you can have this thing be setting up its staminas before the Terrakion comes in, Terrakion doesn't stand a chance, and then we'll just get OHKO'd by body press. Body press is this horse's best friend, and yeah, use it to your advantage. All right, so this is kind of a surprise pick, I feel like, but definitely one that is worth talking about, and that is Rune Regis. Rune Regis is what I feel is actually the best counter to Terrakion, and it is something I would consider a true counter, and here's why. The most that a Terrakion can do, if it is choice banded, so stock choice band, it can do 33% maximum on this set right here, which is a 93% chance to 4-hit KO. So it's not even a guaranteed, like, you have a 93% chance to 4-hit KO because of leftovers. That's crazy. That is insane amounts of bulk coming off of this thing with a base 145 defense stat, and you being hit neutrally rather than super effectively. That's why you don't see Avalugg on this list. It's crazy how much this thing can just deal with this thing. Now, if you are Life Orb, let's go ahead and talk about, if you are Life Orb, how much you're going to take. If you are Life Orb and let's say the Terrakion against you set up to +2, it's a 53% chance to 2-hit KO you. Think about that. That is you at +2 taking a Earthquake from your opponent, and it's only a 53% chance to 2-hit KO you after leftovers. That's insane as well. So yeah, Rune Regis is definitely something I would consider the most a counter to Terrakion. And of course, you hit it back with Body Press. Body Press is doing 69 minimum, so guaranteed 2-hit KO. And yeah, so basically, if this thing is anything other than the Life Orb set with the Swords Dance, then you are going to completely counter it. It cannot touch you. You will win that exchange every time. You can then burn it, and it's doing even less, and it becomes a non-threat after that. Now, this is something a little different. We have some honorable mentions. So most of these were defensive choices. Now we have some offensive choices, and these we're going to go through pretty quickly. So we have Inteleon here, a choice specs Inteleon. Inteleon is faster than Terrakion, so as long as Terrakion is not scarfed, you will outspeed Hydro Pump Okos 100% of the time. Next is going to be Choice Banded Cinderace. You do have to be Choice Banded in order to Oko, but you do Oko with High Jump Kick every single time. Again, if the Terrakion is scarfed, he is faster than you and will Oko you, but if you are faster and you can scout out for that scarf or that band or whatever it is, you are faster and High Jump Kick kills. Just don't miss. Next is Cloyster. Cloyster is going to Oko with Icicle Spear after a Shell Smash. You do have to be careful though, because you do need that Shell Smash. You also have to be careful to be Jolly on this rather than Adamant. A lot of people are running Adamant Cloyster. However, Scarf Terrakion actually outspeeds Adamant +2 Cloyster. So that is something you have to keep in mind. The speeds are super close as it is. You reach 524 at level 100 with a Jolly at +2 on a Cloyster, and you reach 519 with a Scarf Terrakion. So only a 5-point difference. Very, very close. So Adamant does make a difference there. So you're going to want to run Jolly if this is going to be your answer to Terrakion. And last is going to be, of course, Scarf Dracovish. I feel like you have to put Scarf Dracovish in like every episode of anything because it's just really good. But yeah, Scarf Dracovish is an amazing counter to this. Actually, I still would consider it a check because it is slower than Scarf Terrakion. However, it has a chance to live a close combat, and it's guaranteed to live any one hit from any other attack. So if your opponent is banded and locks himself into anything other than close combat, you guaranteed live, and you can then hit him with a Vicious Rend. Vicious Rend Okos whether you go first or second, it does not matter. It has enough power to Oko both ways. So yeah, that is going to be all for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys learned how you are going to take down Terrakion in the future. So, like I said, tomorrow will be more Mystery Dungeon. Make sure to go check that out. And throughout this week, there will be 2 more episodes. And yeah, it's going to be a good week, guys. Make sure you wash your hands. Make sure to stay safe out there, and stay home, watch videos. It'll be great. So anyway, until next time, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.